For me, it's about the law and people. How am I supposed to quantify the value of these things when I don't have evidence?
I'm sorry.
And how people can resolve their problems and just be better for it.
Justice with passion.
I always knew I was going to go into law because I tried to see everybody's point of view in an argument. You say one thing, she says another. So who am I to believe?
Justice with truth.
Either you make the decision or I make the decision. You won't like mine.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Cheryl Loggins is suing Alex Rowan in the amount of $325. Ms. Loggins claims she provided waxing services to Ms. Rowan and says the defendant left mid-session without paying.
Okay, Ms. Loggins, you are here today suing Ms. Rowan for $325 because you claim she failed to pay for some services that were rendered.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So I've read your statements, I've looked at your evidence. I know this is a very delicate case, so please give me your side of the story first.
Absolutely. I am a salon owner in Carlsbad, California, and I'm a licensed esthetician. I mainly focus on waxing because it's more lucrative for me. I worked very hard to establish this business, and I'm very, very proud of it. So I developed this love for the wellness industry because I want to help every person become the best version of themselves. So that's where I'm coming from.
How long have you had your business?
My business has been around for about 10 years.
Okay. And you own it?
Correct.
And it's you purely offer waxing, that's it?
Yes, it's just more lucrative in a beach town. Everyone wants to be out in the sun and have fun and be hairless doing that.
Okay, so tell me what happened with the defendant.
Absolutely. So I opened my own salon, which is great, and I have Yelp reviews, which I can give you that talk about my many.
Why don't you go ahead and give me all your evidence?
Sure.
So 10 years, it's been a solid business, you specialize in waxing. Are you the only person who waxes, or you have other employees?
Oh, no, I have employees.
Okay, all right, how many employees?
I have 2.
Okay, all right, so explain what happened.
So Alex called the day before her services, and we chatted a little bit about price points and things like that. The following
what
day,
did Alex want? What was she looking for?
So she was looking for a full body wax.
Okay, full body wax. And when you say full body wax, it means
from head to toe. Yeah, we're
even
talking
the intimate parts.
Correct.
Okay.
So she came in, and it was a day just like any other. I believe there was about 2 clients in the lobby. I got her some herbal tea because I like to create a tranquil, welcoming environment. Checked her all in, had some meditative music playing. I asked her to remove all of her clothes except for her undergarments, and then we would start the procedure, for lack of a better word. I waxed everything except the private areas, and I told her I really, again, with wanting to create the environment of a welcoming, Brazilians are painful, so I use a cream, an organic numbing cream. So I asked her to remove her underwear and get under the towel while I went to get the organic cream. I came back and was about to do the intimate areas, and I lifted the towel, and I am not proud of this, and I did apologize, but I did scream because I did not know that that would be what the situation was.
And what was the situation?
I thought that she was a woman. She presented female, and so it's a different.
So then you screamed, and what happened next?
Sure. Alex was offended and grabbed all of her clothes.
Anybody would have been offended.
Absolutely,
by that,
and I appreciate that for sure. Grabbed her clothes, went into the bathroom. She came back out. I tried to explain myself and apologize, but at that moment she was pretty. She wasn't able to communicate with me at that spot, and I sincerely apologize for my reaction. And she went out into the lobby and just left without paying for the services that I did render. I did have other clients that day. It was a full booked day, so I could not chase after her. But that evening, I did send an email.
I mean, you've been an esthetician for 10 years, specializing in waxing. This is how you act when you see male genitalia?
So typically I don't.
I mean, is it such a, I mean, did it call for such an overreaction? I mean, aren't you used to this?
So I don't.
Are you clear in your services that you only wax women? Or explain to me, because after 10 years, I mean, no offense to men, I mean, okay, it's male genitalia. We've seen it, okay, get it, all right. I mean, I don't know if I would have reacted like you after 10 years of having a practice.
Coming up on Justice for All.
She emailed me back and accused me of discriminating against her.
Well, because she did discriminate against me.
How does she discriminate against you? Explain that to me.
So I do live my life exactly how I want to. And when I have situations like this happen, it's a major setback.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Cheryl Loggins, who is suing Alex Rowan for unpaid esthetician services.
Did you react because you thought she was a woman?
Yeah, it just was unexpected. It was a surprise to me.
So you thought she was a woman.
Correct.
And expected to see woman parts.
Correct.
And you didn't see woman parts, and that's what shocked you.
me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Continue.
Yes. So that evening, after I had shut down for the evening and had a moment to process this, I sent her the email requesting the $325 payment for the services that I did render. And then
so the rest of your body was waxed, Alex. She did that. Your arms, I don't know what else.
My face, my eyebrows, everything but my genital area.
Okay, all right. And the genital area was included in the $325?
It was $400 total for everything. The $325 was just the services rendered.
Okay. That's pretty expensive for just your eyebrows and your mustache.
Also back and arms.
Okay. All right, so you just wanted nothing.
I wanted no hair on my body whatsoever.
Okay. Got it.
And we did discuss price points ahead of time.
Okay, so you did discuss it. So you knew what you were going to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And she refused to pay the $325.
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead.
She emailed me back and accused me of discriminating against her.
Okay.
Well, because she did discriminate against me.
How does she discriminate against you? Explain that to me.
So, I do live my life exactly how I want to, freely, authentically myself. And when I have situations like this happen, it's a major setback. She did use the term Manzilian instead of Brazilian in the email, so it's very clear that she doesn't think I'm a woman.
Do you offer services to men?
I do.
What kind of services do you offer?
The majority of men that come into my salon just get their backs waxed.
Okay. Do you specifically say, I do not do Brazilian or Manzilians?
So I do have a sign, and you'll see in my evidence, that says I have the right to refuse service to anyone.
I got that, yeah. But do you specifically say, I do not provide services for men for bikini wax?
I do not believe that is something that I could possibly communicate better.
So when you do an intake for a potential new client, obviously you ask their name, their sex, how did you believe she was just, or do you do an intake, or are you just
We do an intake, but I was told that she identifies as female.
So then what happened? So then you got your wax, and when it came to the point of you doing the bikini wax,
she left the room to go and get materials, whatever she needed. She came back, right? And when she came back, she lifted up the towel. And mind you, I had taken everything off already. I just had the towel on. So when she lifted it, she screamed. And that's when I felt very embarrassed. She also had clients out there, so it's not like I was alone or this was, super private. This was in like a bit of a public setting. So
it wasn't public. You were in the room.
But her clients were literally outside the door.
Yeah, but to be discriminated against, Alex, you have to be denied service.
Well, she did
specifically. The motivation behind a denial or the harshness has to be specifically here because you're a trans woman, right? So that's what you need to prove to me for your defense, right? So did she specifically say, I am not specifically waxing you because you are transgender?
She didn't specifically say that, but she did send me an email saying that she doesn't perform on male genitals and that she's not going to perform a Manzilian on me.
Okay,
but
that's not discrimination. That's just basically saying, I do not do bikini wax on men. Not a lot of people do bikini waxes on men. I know it's called a Manzilian, or it's got...
That's the problem, and I have...
But that's not discrimination. That's like me saying, I only listen to small claim court cases, period. I'm not discriminating against divorce cases, family cases, criminal cases. No, I am a specialist in this. This is all I do. I only handle, if I'm an attorney, I only handle divorce cases. I'm not discriminating against you because you come to me and say I was discriminated against because I'm a transgender woman and this bar refused to let me in. If I do not take the case, it doesn't mean I'm discriminating against you. It means that is not my specialty. I'm just giving you hypotheticals, right? So we can't really say, I hear you and I understand.
Well, I do have evidence that shows.
Show me the discrimination. If I am wrong, I need to see it. Go ahead. What type of evidence are you submitting to show it's discrimination?
So this basically states that in the state of California, you cannot refuse service to somebody depending on their gender identity. Just because somebody identifies as female.
I understand this. Yeah, I got it. I see that. And again, she did not do that. She did not specifically tell you, I am denying a bikini wax because you identify as a transgender woman.
Coming up.
You are physically a beautiful woman. Did you ask before you made the appointment? Do you provide services for men and women and for all types of genitalia?
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Cheryl Loggins, who is suing Alex Rowan for unpaid esthetician services.
So the point is, I don't think Ms. Loggins denied services because she does not perform services on transgender women, etc. She just does not do bikini wax on male genitalia. That's a different story, right?
That should have been disclosed to me before then.
No. Did you ask before, and I'm not putting this on you, but you are physically a beautiful woman, okay? Did you ask before you made the appointment, do you perform or do you provide services for men and women and for all types of genitalia? Because wouldn't you want the most experienced person to do a bikini wax?
Of course.
And you knew specifically that, you know, you are a woman, but you have male genitalia, and that's something you needed to. I feel it should have been either somebody had to say something about it.
I feel like that just really depends on the person. I don't feel the need to disclose my genitalia.
I understand that, but you're getting a bikini wax.
Because it's inappropriate. You know, I feel like I've went to many places and I've gotten Brazilian waxes, and I've never once have mentioned I have male genitalia. And even when they were surprised, if they were, I never had any reaction. It was just completely unprofessional.
I give it to you. I think that her reaction was unprofessional.
Coming up.
I will be the first person to call somebody out when I think something's wrong. And I will go to bat for everybody that I know that's part of this community. But it is also my job to look at the law.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Cheryl Loggins, who is suing Alex Rowan for unpaid esthetician services.
I am very supportive of all communities, particularly yours, for many different reasons, okay? And I will be the first person to call somebody out when I think something's wrong. But it is also my job to look at facts and to look at the law. And if there was any way, if there was anything in this case that would tell me that the plaintiff violated the California Act that I'm very familiar with and violated your rights, I would have pointed them out. I believe that Ms. Loggins overreacted. I believe that she was not professional when she did that. She did perform service on you, on your arms, your legs, your back, your eyebrows, your mustache, etc., that we all do. And those are services she provided to you, right? Her reaction was not discrimination based on the fact they had male genitalia or that you're a transgender woman. She expected a woman because nothing about you told her you would have male genitalia. So she expected a woman. While I agree with her reaction or disagree with her reaction is beside the point, that's what she expected. Just relying on, I reserve the right to refuse service to anybody, no longer works.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez.
I have heard enough, and I'm going to make my ruling. Based on the evidence, I will grant the plaintiff's claim in the amount of $325 because the defendant did receive services that she did not pay for. I do not find that the discrimination claim was based on discrimination based on the evidence, okay? Ms. Loggins, I suggest that you have a little more sensitivity and in the future, and I think the right thing for you to have done would have been to eat $325. Alex, if you're gonna continue moving forward in life, not everything is a bump in the road. Not everything can be claimed to be discrimination. You have the rest of your life to go to. You need to prove, unfortunately, look at me, you need to prove, listen to me, that you are better and stronger than the average person. That is not fair, but unfortunately, that is what is happening today in people in this society. Nothing is going to affect who you are and your identity and what you want to do with your life. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Get it? Don't lose track of that. All right, ladies, good luck.
All rise.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $325.
I apologize again, and I will learn from this situation.
I honestly feel like it just wasn't genuine enough for me, and my goal here was to educate, the judge, and unfortunately that just didn't happen, so.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.